Surface tension is the property of the liquid by means of which the free liquid surface acquires the minimum surface area, or the free surface of the liquid behaves like a stretched elastic membrane. That is called surface tension. So, general applications of the surface tension. Suppose on the glass plate or on the floor, on the glass plate here or on the floor, a small mercury drop is taken. Mercury drop. A small mercury drop is taken. It is almost all spherical in shape like this. A small mercury drop is taken, then it is almost all spherical in shape. Suppose a large mercury drop is taken. It is a small drop. Small mercury drop. HG, mercury drop. You take the large mercury drop. Large mercury drop you take. So the shape of the large mercury drop means that definitely we can see like this. If you take the large mercury drop, the shape of the mercury drop is like this, and if you take the small mercury drop, almost all it is in spherical shape. What is the reason? What is the? Is audio is clear to you or not? Ashwant, is audio is clear to you or not? Okay, Ashwant Reddy, audio is clear to almost all everyone. You check your system. Okay. So here, in case of small mercury drop, among the atoms of the mercury drop, positive forces of attraction are there, or force due to surface tensions are there. That force due to surface tension dominates the weight acts on the small drop. The force due to surface tension acts on all the atoms on the surface of the mercury drop is greater than the gravitational force of attraction acts on the atoms on the surface of the drop. Okay, that's why the force due to surface tension dominates the gravitational force on the atom. That's why it acquires the spherical shape, because net force is due to surface tension only. Okay, here the gravitational force acts on the large liquid drop dominates the force due to surface tension. In that case, the liquid shape is like this. Okay, here gravitational force of attraction, or force due to surface tension greater than force due to gravity. Here, force due to surface tension less than force due to gravity. That means gravitational forces acts on the atoms of the large liquid drop predominates or dominates the force due to surface tension. That's why, because of more gravitational forces, as the atoms of the liquid drop are attracted more with gravitational forces, it comes down, and as the surface tension forces are less, that's why as it comes down, definitely at the middle it is expanded like this. So that that's it is having some paraboloid shape like this, ellipsoidal shape. But whereas in case of small drop, positive forces due to surface tension dominates the gravitational force. That's why it acquires the spherical shape almost all. Okay. Next, in gravity free space, it is, of course, here gravity is there. G is not equal to 0 here. In this case, G is not equal to 0. That means gravity is there. In gravity free space, okay, that means acceleration due to gravity does not exist. In such case, if you take a small drop, no doubt it is spherical in shape. Even if you take the large drop, it is in spherical shape like this. Whatever the size of the liquid drop, whether it is small drop or large drop, if gravity is not there, as no gravitational force of attraction acts on the large drop, because of surface tension, all atoms or molecules on the surface of the atom comes closer so that it acquires spherical shape. Here also acquires spherical shape. So it is a small drop and it is a big drop. In this case, force due to gravity is 0. In such case, whatever the size of the liquid drop, whether it is small or big, both acquires the spherical shape. Okay, so this is one point. Next, third one. Suppose you take a greased needle. You take a greased needle. That means over the surface of the needle, or okay, pin or surface of the needle, just you attach a grease. You attach the grease over the surface. and you keep that needle over the surface of the water or surface of any liquid. Actually, we cannot keep the needle directly over the surface of the water gently. Gently means the total length of the needle must be in contact with the surface of the water at a time or simultaneously. It is somewhat difficult to us to keep directly. That's why generally we have to keep like so. The needle is kept over the surface of the blotting paper, which can soak the water. Okay. The blotting paper అంటే that is a paper which can absorb the water, which can soak the water, పీల్చుకుంటుంది వాటర్ అటువంటిది, just like cloth. ఓకే, ఒక బ్లాటింగ్ పేపర్ తీసుకుని టిష్యూ పేపర్ టైప్ లో, ఓకే, ఆన్ దట్ పేపర్ యు కీప్ ద నీడిల్, ఇట్ ఈస్ గ్రీజ్డ్ నీడిల్. గ్రీజ్డ్ నీడిల్ ఉంచండి. గ్రీజ్డ్ నీడిల్ అంటే ఇట్ మేక్స్ యాంగిల్ ఆఫ్ కాంటాక్ట్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 90. గ్రీజ్డ్ నీడిల్ అంటే when you keep the needle directly over the surface of the water, angle of contact between water and needle is less than 90. It submerges. Suppose if you take the greased needle, greased wire తీసినప్పుడు the grease makes the angle of contact between the needle and the surface of the water is greater than 90. Greater than 90. So you keep that needle over the blotting paper and you keep the blotting paper over the surface of the water or surface of the liquid. Then slowly the blotting paper soaks the water and absorbs the water, becomes wet, and slowly the blotting paper sinks into the water. But over the surface of the blotting paper, as the needle is there, that needle is over the surface of the water only, and it is floating. At the instant whenever the greased needle is floating over the surface of the water, greased needle when floating, here in this case angle of contact theta is greater than 90. So in such case, whenever the needle is floating over the surface of the water, if you can see the cross section of the needle, it is like this, and the surface of the water becomes like this, because the surface of the water in contact with the needle is like this. The surface of the water in contact with the needle is like this. So at this point of contact, when you draw the tangent, when you draw the tangent to the surface of the liquid, the tangent is like this. Of course, the needle having some length also. Needle is having some length also like this. Okay, having length L. Needle is having length L, say. Okay, length of the needle is L. It is floating over the surface of liquid. Here, at this point of contact, when you draw the tangent to the surface, the tangent is in this direction. That is the direction of the surface tension. Okay, suppose if it is the vertical. It is the vertical. Suppose the angle made by this tangent drawn with vertical is say theta. Okay, here also of course with vertical, angle made by this tangent with vertical is theta. Okay, now the component of tension in this direction is T cos theta. The component of tension in this direction is T cos theta. Then what is the force due to surface tension acts on the needle vertically upwards in this direction? Because the water is in contact with the needle in this side and in this side also. First you take one side. On one side, suppose this is the cross section of the needle. In this direction, what is the force due to surface tension acts? Force due to surface tension acts in this direction is equal to Ft is equal to surface tension T cos theta into length of the wire L. Length of the wire is L. In this direction also same Ft acts, and weight mg acts vertically down this direction. Therefore, as the needle is floating over the surface of liquid, buoyancy can be ignored. Buoyant force can be ignored here. Buoyant force is not given, so that can be ignored. 0. So in this case, as it is floating, 2Ft is equal to weight mg. No? Sometimes they may ask what is the maximum diameter of the wire which is floating over the surface of the liquid, or what is the maximum mass that can be floating over the surface of the liquid. Like that, the question may be asked. So 2Ft is equal to mg. 2 into what about Ft? Ft means T cos theta into L. As it is having two surfaces, this side force due to surface tension acts, this side also acts. That's why total force due to surface tension acts on the this wire in upward direction is equal to 2t cos theta into L is equal to weight mg. M means mass of the wire. Mass of the wire means area of cross section pi r square into length of the wire gives volume into density of the wire. Density of the material. Density of this wire is rho m. Volume into density is mass into g weight. Okay, therefore r square is equal to we can write here LL cancel now. So we can write 2t cos theta by pi rho m into z. R is equal to under root. This is the radius of the wire which can float over the surface of the it is the radius of the wire which is floating over the surface of the liquid. Okay, grease. Then what is the diameter? Diameter means diameter is equal to 2r. Diameter of the wire means this one, that is equal to 2r, which is equal to 2 into, that means that is equal to, you write the 2 inside the root, then it becomes 8t cos theta by pi rho m into c. This is the diameter of the wire. What is the mass means? Just m is equal to 2t cos theta by g. Directly we can write. Because if they ask mass, m is equal to 2ft by z. Ft means 2t cos theta. Ft means t cos theta into l. We can write. In this way, we can find. Next, one more example. It's our common experience also. Suppose in a container or in utensil, the water is taken. In utensil, water is taken, and that water is heating. The water is taken in a beaker and the water is heating. When water is heating, now and then we can observe the bubbles. Bubbles come from the bottom of the beaker to the top. Am I right? Here, whenever the water is heating, okay, the bubbles are because here the air is produced here. That air is in the form of bubble, and that bubbles comes to the top. So at the instant, whenever the bubble leaving the what size of the bubble when produced at the bottom of the beaker, it leaves the bottom surface. Suppose the bubble produced here is say like this. What is the radius of the bubble? What is the radius of circular cross section of the bubble in contact with the beaker at which it leaves the bottom surface of the vessel? This is the hot water. Bubbles are produced like this. The radius of the bubble is capital R. And the radius of the circular patch which is in contact with the beaker. The radius of the circular patch which is in contact with the beaker, that is equal to the radius of the bubble in contact with the beaker is a smaller. The radius of the circular patch of the bubble in contact with the beaker is a smaller. So this is smaller. Okay, then what is the smaller? So radius of circular patch of bubble. Circular patch of bubble in contact with the beaker. In contact with the beaker, at which it leaves when while heating. This is the case. So the radius of the circular patch of the bubble in contact with the bottom of the beaker, at which the bubble leaves the bottom surface. That is the case. The maximum radius of the bubble which can be produced is a capital R. That will be given. Okay. So exactly at the point of contact. Here, the force due to surface tension, because this bubble try to leave upwards, the force due to surface tension acts on the bubble in this direction. Okay, this is the direction of the surface tension. The component of surface tension acts along vertical direction. Suppose angle made by the direction of the surface tension with the horizontal say theta. Then here also, at this also, the force due to surface tension acts in this direction, same component. So the component of surface tension acts at this point on the circular patch of the bubble in contact with the beaker is T sin theta. ఇక్కడ theta అనుకుంటే ఇది T sin theta కదా, అట్లా ఇది కూడా T sin theta, of course T sin theta. Now, what is the force due to surface tension acts on the circular patch of the bubble which is in contact with the beaker? And then force due to surface tension acts on the bubble in contact with the bottom of the beaker. Ft is equal to how much? Surface tension component acts on the circular patch of the bubble in contact with the beaker is equal to T sin theta. Then what is the force due to surface tension acts on the circular patch of the bubble in contact with the beaker downwards? The length of the circular patch in contact with the beaker, that is equal to, as the radius is taken as r, then circular patch, the length of the circular patch is equal to circumference 2 pi small r into T sin theta. This is the force due to surface tension acts on the bubble produced there in downwards direction. So whenever the bubble is produced there, then bind force acts, no, because whatever the volume of the bubble, that amount of volume of the water or liquid is displaced by the bubble, no, that's why bind force also acts. But the weight of the air inside the bubble can be ignored compared with the weight of the water displaced. Okay, that's why we don't consider the weight of the bubble. So here bind force acts on the bubble upwards. Fp. Bind force. What is the bind force acts on the bubble? Tell me. Bind force acts on the bubble is volume of the bubble. Of course, is here this volume can be ignored compared with this volume. So volume of the bubble into density of liquid, this mass into Z. So that is equal to volume of the bubble means, as the bubble is spherical in shape, volume of the bubble is equal to 4/3 pi r cube, where r is the radius of the bubble produced here. Radius of the bubble produced into density of the liquid gives mass of the liquid displaced into G. It is the bind force. So whenever here, as long as the liquid is heating, the size of the bubble gradually increases, because whenever it is heating, the temperature of the air inside the bubble gradually increases, so that expansion takes place due to increase in pressure and volume increases. When volume increases, slowly the radius of circular patch of the bubble in contact with the beaker gradually decreases, and at one particular radius of the circular patch, it leaves the contact with the beaker. What is that radius, they ask? So whenever the bind force balance, whenever the surface tension force balances the bind force, up to that it will be here. Whenever the bind force dominates the force due to surface tension acts on the bubble in downwards direction, then it leaves contact. That's why under equilibrium, or to leave the bubble, from bottom of beaker. What is the condition? To leave the bubble from the bottom of the beaker, the condition is bind force must be greater than or at least equal to force due to surface tension. Okay, therefore, bind force means 4/3 pi capital R cube into density of liquid into Z, greater than or equal to force due to surface tension means 2 pi r T sin theta. 2 pi r, sorry, 2 pi small r. 2 pi small r, capital R is there, small r is there. So you see carefully. 2 pi small r into T sin theta. Okay, from this small r less than or equal to, here 2 pi 2s r. Okay, small r less than or equal to, here 2 into r cube rho l z by t into T sin theta. It is the radius condition. Whenever the radius is less than or equal to this one, less than or equal to this one, then it leaves contact. The bubble leaves the bottom surface. What is the maximum radius? What is the maximum radius of the circular patch at which it leaves the contact? R max. R max is equal to 2r cube rho L z by dt sin theta. So the maximum radius of the bubble, radius of the circular patch of the bubble at which it leaves the contact with the bottom of the beaker is 2r cube rho L z by dt sin theta. What about sin theta from the diagram? How we can write sin theta? Here we have sin theta. Sin theta also we have to write. What about sin theta? You see, this is equal to Kepler. This is vertical line. If it is theta, this is 90 minus theta, so that this is theta. Then from this right angle triangle, if you take sin theta is equal to opposite means smaller by hypotenuse means Kepler. So sin theta can be written as small r by Kepler. So here, therefore, r less than or equal to 2 Kepler cube rho L z by dt into sin theta means small r by Kepler. Small r by Kepler. Okay, that is equal to 2 r to the power of 4 rho L z by dt into small r. That implies small r square less than or equal to 2 r to the power of 4 rho L z by 3t. Okay, therefore r is equal to. So minimum radius if they ask, sorry, maximum, that implies r max is equal to square root of 2 r to the power of 4 rho L z by 3t. 2 r to the power of 4 rho L z by 3t. R that is equal to, we can write r square into square root of, because you write r to the power of 4 outside the root, then 2 rho L z by 3t. So this is the formula for maximum radius. Formula for maximum radius at which it will hold to the beaker. If the radius is less than this one, immediately it leaves the contact with the bottom of the beaker. Okay, that is the answer. So it is also very, very important one. Next, shall I write this one? Yeah, sin theta is equal to small r by Kepler. Which one? Shall I write? Okay. Which one? Already dropper I said now. In last class I said the dropper, ink dropper or medicine, liquid medicine dropper. In order to take the drops of the medicine, liquid medicine, then we use the dropper. No, the dropper concept was completed. No. I think I said that. Okay, dropper concept is over. Next, yeah. Here one more. This is also important and easy. A liquid is filled in a spherical container. Next one. Liquid is filled in a spherical container. It is the spherical container. It is the center of the spherical container. When it is filled with here, whenever this spherical vessel is filled with liquid up to certain level, up to the height h, up to the height h. When it is filled with height h with liquid, then the surface of the liquid is when the surface of the liquid is plane. The surface of the liquid in contact with the walls of the container, spherical container, is horizontal. It is the surface of the liquid. Surface, plane surface of liquid. Actually, we know whenever the surface of the liquid is in contact with the solid surface at that place, it is having some angle of contact. Here is the angle of contact. Here is there or not? Here the angle of contact is 0 or 90 or anyone is there other than 90 is there. Here, what is the angle of contact? At the point of contact of the liquid surface with the surface of the solid, and the vessel యొక్క surface తో contact ఉన్న free liquid surface point అంటే ఇది. At that point, you draw a tangent to the surface of the liquid. Surface of the liquid horizontal గా ఉందన్నాడు అంటే plane surface అన్నాడు. కాబట్టి at this point when you draw the tangent is along this direction. It is the direction of the surface tension. Okay, ఈ డ్రా చేసిన tangent కి liquid లోపల submerged అయిన solid surface means here. When you draw the tangent at this point to the solid surface కి డ్రా చేసిన tangent ఎప్పుడు కూడా that is perpendicular to the line joining the position of the point and center. ఈ సెంటర్ ని తర్వాత ఈ పాయింట్ ని జాయిన్ చేసే లైన్ కి పర్పెండిక్యులర్ గా tangent ఉంటుంది. So at this point the surface of the at this point of contact of the liquid with the solid, the surface of the solid is along this direction. The angle made by the tangent drawn at the point of contact to the liquid surface with the solid inside the liquid means this one. That is equal to angle of contact theta. If it is theta, as these two are perpendicular, it is 90 minus theta. If it is 90 minus theta, then this angle is theta. This angle is theta. Okay, now they asked, what about the angle of contact? Theta they asked because it is the angle of contact. Theta is the angle of contact here. And why it is called angle of contact means the angle made by the tangent drawn at the point of contact to the liquid surface with the solid surface inside the liquid. అంటే inside the liquid అంటే liquid లోపల submerged అయిన solid యొక్క surface. ఈ point of contact దగ్గర surface of the solid ఎట్లా ఉంటుందంటే point of contact దగ్గర ఈ surface of the solid కు ఒక tangent డ్రా చేస్తే that is the direction of the surface inside the liquid. అప్పుడు ఈ angle theta, that is the angle of contact. Angle of contact is equal to question mark. That is the case in this formula. So diagram లో మనకి ఏమి ఇచ్చాడంటే radius of the sphere ఇచ్చేసాడు. Radius of the sphere is capital R ఇచ్చాడు. ఈ height ఇచ్చేసాడు. So small r is equal to this height is how much? This is equal to r minus h కదా. ఇది h ఇచ్చాడు. ఇది మొత్తం r minus h is equal to this one. Theta here adjacent to theta hypotenuse in this right angle triangle adjacent and hypotenuse both are known. So you take cos theta. Cos theta is equal to adjacent means r minus h by hypotenuse means capital R. Okay, from this angle of contact we need. From this angle of contact means theta. So theta is equal to cos inverse of r minus h by capital R. So this is the answer. This is the answer. Okay. Note down. No, general concepts already 7 were completed, no? 7 completed, 2 already I taught. I think it is 9th one. Is it 9th one? Already 7 were completed. 7 points were completed. Next already I taught 2 points, so 9. I think it is the 10th one. It is the 10th application. Okay. We take it as the 10th one. 10th application. Okay, next same type concept, just differently they asked, simple one only. 11th one. 11th one. A circular wire 10 centimeter in diameter with a slider wire on it is in our assignment also. is in the horizontal plane. A soap film is formed bounded by the wires. On the left side of the slider as shown, if the surface tension of the liquid is something, an applied force F perpendicular to the slider maintains the film in equilibrium. Ignore the sag in the film. In the figure, when the slider is 9 cm from the point P, applied forces. Suppose here there is a circular frame. There is a circular frame. It is the center of the circular frame. It is the center of the circular frame. Of course, it is a circular frame. Circular frame. The radius of the circular frame is given. This is the radius of the circular frame that is given capital. Okay, now one sliding wire is kept here. It is the sliding wire. This is the sliding wire. It is the sliding wire. Sliding wire can move freely over the surface. It is the sliding wire can move freely over the surface. It is sufficient length. Even it can pass through. Even while it is passing through center, the sliding wire is in contact with the circular frame. Okay, in such a way the sufficient length is taken. Here, the sliding wire, here the circular frame with sliding wire is kept submerged. It is the smooth wire. The circular frame with sliding wire kept at this position, which is at a distance, say D, from the center. So from the center, the sliding wire is kept at a distance D, and the sliding wire is in contact with the circular frame. Now this arrangement is put in the soap solution and it is removed outside. Then in between the sliding wire and here a soap solution is formed. Here this is the soap film is formed. This is the soap film that is formed. Soap film is formed. Here the molecules on the surface of the soap film in contact with the sliding wire. The molecules of the soap film are in contact with the sliding wire. Because of surface tension property, in which direction the soap film exerts the force on the sliding wire due to surface tension. ఈ soap film లో ఉండే molecules ఈ wire తో కాంటాక్ట్ ఉన్నాయి. ఈ sliding wire తో కాంటాక్ట్ ఉన్నాయి. కాంటాక్ట్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు due to surface tension property, what is the direction of the force applied by the liquid due to surface tension on the sliding wire? Towards left or towards right? Very good, towards left. So ఈ స్లైడింగ్ వైర్ మీద సోప్ ఫిల్మ్ వల్ల దీని మీద పనిచేసే ఫోర్స్ ఇటువైపు ఉంటుంది. ఫోర్స్ డ్యూ టు సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్. Force due to surface tension acts on the sliding wire towards left. Force due to surface tension, F suffix T. So force due to surface tension. Force due to surface tension acts on the sliding wire towards left. Okay, because of that, the sliding wire move in this direction so that the surface area of the soap film becomes as possible as minimum. Because suppose when you release the sliding wire without applying any force, when you release the sliding wire, because the sliding wire can slide over the frame freely because it is a smooth sliding wire, so it can move freely. So because of force due to surface tension acts on the sliding wire, the sliding wire comes towards the film so that the surface area of the soap film becomes as possible as minimum because of surface tension property. Surface tension property వల్ల ఈ ఫ్రీ సర్ఫేస్ ఆఫ్ లిక్విడ్ సాధ్యమైనంత మినిమం ఏరియాని ఆక్యుపై చేయాలి. మినిమం ఏరియా ఆక్యుపై చేయాలంటే ఈ దీని యొక్క ఏరియా తగ్గాలి. ఏరియా తగ్గాలంటే స్లైడింగ్ వైర్ ఇటువైపు వస్తుంది అనుకోండి, సోప్ ఫిల్మ్ యొక్క ఏరియా తగ్గిపోతుంటుంది కదా. అయితే that keep the so because of force due to surface tension or because of surface tension property in acquiring minimum surface area, the soap film exerts the force on the sliding wire due to surface tension towards left or towards the liquid film. Due to that, the sliding wire try to come in this direction. But to keep the sliding wire here only in equilibrium, what is the force required? So here on the sliding wire, what is the minimum force? What is the force required? F is called question mark. To keep, okay, first of all, force due to surface tension, Ft, force due to surface tension. So that Ft pulls the sliding wire towards left. This FT pulls the sliding wire towards left in the figure. Towards left in the figure to minimize the area of sow film. Area of sow film. Therefore, to keep sliding wire in equilibrium, what is the force needed? Sliding wire in equilibrium, external force needed. External force, capital F, needed is dash. Okay, now okay, here you see, in order to find the force, whatever the to keep the sliding wire equilibrium, what is the force needed? Means force needed F is equal to force due to surface tension. Okay, force required is equal to force due to surface tension. Force due to surface tension acts on needle కావాలంటే ఈ sliding wire కావాలంటే length of the sliding wire in contact with the liquid film కావాలి అంటే ఈ length కావాలి. That length is how much? We need that one. Okay, suppose it is equal to capital R. This is equal to D. We know this is equal to D. Okay, then what about this length? Square root of R square minus D square, no? So L is equal to, this length is equal to square root of R square minus D square. Okay, this length is square root of R square minus D square. This is also same, no? That's why into 2. It is the length of the liquid film in contact with the sliding wire. Length of the liquid film in contact with the sliding wire. Therefore, force due to surface tension acts on the wire. Force due to surface tension is what? Tell me. Length of the liquid film in contact with the sliding wire is this one. Then what is the force due to surface tension acts on the wire? Surface tension into length of the free liquid surface in contact with the sliding wire means from this side, this L length of the liquid film is in contact. From back side also L length is in contact. That's why total length of the liquid film in contact with the sliding wire is equal to 2L. Therefore, surface tension T into 2 into L means 2 into square root of R square minus D square. Therefore, 4T square root of R square minus D square is the force due to surface tension. This is the external force required. That's all. This is the external force required to keep the sliding wire in equilibrium. Force due to surface tension ఇంత పని చేస్తా ఉంటే దానికి ఈక్వలెంట్ ఫోర్స్ ని ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్ అప్లై చేస్తాం అనుకోండి, net force acts on the sliding wire becomes 0 so that it is under equilibrium. So for maintaining the sliding wire equilibrium, the force required is equal to force due to surface tension which is equal to this one. Of course, data మీకు millimeters లో centimeters లోనే ఏవో ఇస్తాడు, ఇదేమో SI లో ఇస్తాడు. You convert the distances in meters only and you substitute. You convert all the data into the same system and then you substitute and simplify them. Okay, you'll get answer. So that is one more point. Next, shall I erase this one? Shall I erase? Okay. Next. What is the next one? 11th, 12th now. What is the next number? What is the next node point? 12. Okay, 12. Okay, next. Suppose in a beaker, here in a beaker, there is a small hole at the bottom. In a beaker, there is a small hole, fine hole, and just like hole diameter is about 1 mm or less than 1 mm. A pinhole, very small hole, is made at the bottom. Of course, in order to see the diagram here, you draw large hole, but it is very small hole. Very small hole is made. The radius of the small hole is equal to small r. Radius of the small hole is equal to small r. Radius of the hole. Radius of the hole is equal to small r. Okay, now here you fill the beaker with water. Slowly the water level gradually increases, and whenever the water level here at first it is a fine hole, not it is a hole having more radius. Very small radius, it is order of radius of the hole. It is very small hole, very small. Just like you take the bucket and by means of a pin or needle, you make a hole. That is very fine hole. Diameter is about less than 1 mm. That means you can imagine what's a small hole we made. Okay. Then if you take the water, suppose if you pour the water in the beaker up to the certain level, very small level, when you pour the water, is the water leaks out through the hole immediately? మనం బేకర్ యొక్క బాటం హోల్ చేసాం, వెరీ ఫైన్ హోల్ చేసాం, దాంట్లో వాటర్ తీసుకున్నాం కొంత హైట్ వరకు, ఇమీడియట్ గా వాటర్ పోయగానే బయటకు వచ్చేస్తుందా? No. When gradually water level increase up to certain height, when water level gradually increase up to certain height, then only the water slowly leaks out through the hole drop by drop. The height up to which the water is taken, the minimum height up to which water is taken in the beaker, minimum height, H minimum is equal to H. The minimum height up to which water is taken in the beaker, so that the water leaks out through the hole drop by drop. అంటే ఇక్కడ దీంట్లో నుంచి వాటర్ డ్రాప్ బై డ్రాప్ ఇట్లా బయటికి లీక్ కావాలంటే మినిమం హైట్ అప్ టు ద వాటర్ ఇస్ టేకెన్ ఇన్ బేకర్ ఇస్ ఏ H. Okay, then what is the minimum height up to which water is taken, liquid is taken in a beaker, so that the liquid comes out through the hole or orifice? That is the case. Okay, so here first of all, as the before leaving the liquid drop from the hole, the shape of the liquid drop is like this. Center is this one. Okay, at this point of contact of the liquid drop with the hole, if you draw the tangent to the surface of liquid, the tangent is like this. This is the direction of the surface tension. Resolve this surface tension to components along this component, along this vertical direction and the horizontal direction. Of course, at this point also we can draw the tangent at this point of contact, the tangent in this direction, vertical component, horizontal component. Horizontal components of the surface tension here and here, they are exactly in opposite direction, they cancel. Similarly, at exact opposite points, diametrical opposite points, the surface tension components will be cancelled. Only along vertical direction component of surface tension exists. Okay, suppose the angle made by the surface tension with this horizontal surface is say theta. This is say theta. Then this component becomes T sin theta. Suppose if you take the vertical component is theta, if you take this is theta, then this component is T cos theta and this component is T sin theta. These T sin theta components are cancelled exactly at opposite points here, diametrical opposite ends, they cancel. Only vertical component exists. So as the surface tension component acts on the circumference of the liquid drop in contact with the hole, acts vertically upwards. So force due to surface tension acts on the force due to surface tension. Force due to ST acts on the liquid drop in upward direction is equal to the T cos theta into. Tell me, force due to surface tension acts on the liquid drop upwards is what? Tell me. Force due to surface tension acts on the liquid drop in upward direction is equal to T cos theta into circumference of the liquid drop in contact with the hole is equal to 2 pi r only, 2 pi small r only. The radius of the liquid drop is different. So 2 pi small r, where small r is the radius of the hole. 2 pi small r. It is the force due to surface tension acts. Okay. At the same time, while the liquid drop is coming out, because of this depth, some pressure acts at the surface now. Because of this depth of the this drop, the depth of the hole here, some pressure difference acts across the drop. Inside the drop means just above the surface, above the hole. The pressure due to liquid is equal to P naught plus H rho z, because height of the liquid drop is H. P naught plus H rho z. Outside atmosphere, P naught acts in this direction. Therefore, net pressure difference across this one is equal to H rho z only. That's why here force due to surface tension is this one, and force acts on the liquid drop in downward direction due to pressure difference. Force due to pressure difference across drop, comma, Fp is equal to pressure into area, pi r square. Because this hole is having area of cross section pi r square. On that pi r square area of cross section, pressure difference is equal to H rho z only. Because total pressure at this point is P naught plus H rho z, from outside P naught. So P naught plus H rho z minus P naught means H rho z. So that pressure difference is equal to pressure difference across the hole. That is equal to H rho z into pi r square. This is the force due to pressure difference across the liquid drop acts. Okay. Here, for the liquid drop to fall, or for the liquid drop not to fall, this force due to pressure difference must be less than or equal to force due to surface tension. అంటే సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ వల్ల ఫోర్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉండి ప్రెజర్ డిఫరెన్స్ వల్ల ఫోర్స్ తక్కువ ఉంది అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు లిక్విడ్ డ్రాప్ పడకుండా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ Fp మీన్స్ H rho z into pi r square less than or equal to force due to surface tension is T cos theta into 2 pi r. T cos theta into 2 pi small r. Okay, so here in terms of here theta becomes, actually here theta is angle of contact also, because exactly at this point thickness of the beaker is along this direction, along vertical direction. That's why angle of contact here is equal to, this becomes angle of contact also. Theta becomes angle of contact also. Angle of contact. So therefore, from this formula, here r square cancel. Okay, h we need h less than or equal to, of course, pi also cancel. 2t cos theta by rho z. Sorry, r rho z. R rho z. Okay. So this is the condition for liquid drop not to fall. For drop not to fall. So what is the maximum height? Maximum height up to which the liquid is taken in the beaker so that the liquid drop does not fall is equal to, or liquid does not leaks out through the hole. ఈ బీకర్ లో ఎంత హైట్ వరకు మాక్సిమం లిక్విడ్ తో ఫిల్ అప్ చేసినప్పుడు దీంట్లో నుంచి లిక్విడ్ లీక్ కాకుండా ఉంటుంది అంటే, therefore the maximum height up to which liquid is taken so that the liquid does not leaks out through the hole. Therefore maximum height up to which liquid is taken in a beaker so that liquid does not leaks through hole is H maximum is equal to, we have to take, for H maximum we have to take equal, is equal to, H maximum is equal to 2t cos theta by R into rho into Z. Or at what height of, up to what height the liquid is taken so that the liquid leaks out through the hole, means formula is this only. Or maximum height up to which the liquid is taken in the beaker so that the liquid does not leaks out, means this only. If the liquid level is greater than this one, then the liquid leaks out through the hole. Okay. Suppose if for pure water and if it is the glass, if angle of contact theta is equal to 0, angle of contact theta is equal to 0 degree, then H max is equal to 2t by R rho Z only. This is the formula for maximum height up to which the liquid can be taken so that the liquid does not leaks out through the hole. Okay. Next, same concept, different approach. Next, shall I write this part? Next, we see 13th problem. Same type of concept only, but different approach. On the surface of the water or on the surface of the liquid. Here it is the liquid. On the surface of the liquid, the beaker is kept. Beaker is having hole at its bottom. On the surface of the liquid, one beaker is kept. Okay. The beaker is, suppose at the bottom of the bucket, a fine hole is there as earlier. It is kept over the surface of the water. It is floating. Now, you depress the bucket into the water, applying force. Up to what depth the bucket can be submerged in the water so that the liquid does not leaks into the bucket. Not leaks out, it leaks into the bucket. That is the case. So here, suppose the beaker is kept. This is the beaker. It is the bottom of the beaker. It is the bottom of the beaker. A hole is made at the bottom of radius smaller. Okay. Up to what depth? Up to what depth the beaker is submerged in the liquid so that the liquid does not leaks out into the beaker. So ఎంత డెప్త్ వరకు బీకర్ ని లిక్విడ్ లోపలికి సబ్మెర్జ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఈ లిక్విడ్ లోపలికి లీక్ కాకుండా ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద కేస్. ఫర్ ద లిక్విడ్ not to leak into the beaker, the maximum height up to which the beaker can be submerged, the maximum depth up to which the beaker can be submerged. So for the liquid not to leaks into the beaker, the maximum depth up to which beaker can be submerged in a liquid is beaker can be submerged in a liquid is H max is equal to same formula 2t cos theta by R rho Z. Rho is the density of the liquid. R rho Z. Okay. In case of water, for water, theta is equal to 0 degree. Therefore, H max is equal to 2t by R rho Z, where R is the radius of the hole. R is the radius of the hole. Radius of hole. That's all. సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ అండి, సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ప్రకారం ఇదే ఫార్ములా వస్తుంది అనుకో. ఓకే నెక్స్ట్ సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏమో ఇక్కడ లిక్విడ్ లోపలికి లీక్ అయిపోయి ఇక్కడ డ్రాప్ ఇట్లా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. ఈ డ్రాప్ ఇక్కడ సర్ఫేస్ బికాస్ ద ఫోర్స్ డ్యూ టు సర్ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ యాక్ట్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ డైరెక్షన్, force due to surface tension acts in this direction, and at the same time because of pressure difference at the top and bottom, ఇక్కడ pressure difference అంటే ఈ పాయింట్ దగ్గర ప్రెజర్ అంటే అట్మాస్ ప్రెజర్ ప్లస్ ప్రెజర్ డ్యూ టు డెప్త్ ఆఫ్ ద లిక్విడ్ కాలం అంటే P0 ప్లస్ H0, టాప్ ఏమో P0. ప్రెజర్ డిఫరెన్స్ అక్రాస్ దిస్ క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు P0 ప్లస్ H0 మైనస్ P0 అంటే H0. ఆ H0 ప్రెజర్ డిఫరెన్స్ వల్ల at this cross section the force due to pressure difference acts is equal to W is equal to pressure into area అంటే H rho g into area by r square for this force. Force due to surface tension అంటే that is equal to T cos theta into 2 pi small r. ఎందుకంటే at this point the force due to surface tension acts in this direction. If it is theta then this component is T cos theta. Same concept. Okay. Next 14th one. Suppose if the air is blown into the suppose here there is a straw, it is dipped in a soap solution and removed out, and air is blown into the pipe with a speed v, then here soap bubble is produced like this. This is the soap bubble. Okay, it is the soap bubble. Then what is the radius of the soap bubble at which it leaves the straw? The radius of the soap bubble, it is the air. Air is pushed into the bubble with a speed v. Or in other words, one more in another way also we can say. Suppose here it is the ring, circular ring, small circular ring. Okay, it is dipped in the soap solution and it is removed out. It is dipped in the soap solution and removed out. A soap film is formed in the circular ring. A soap film is formed in the circular ring. Now you blow the air into the circular ring, then bubbles are produced. No, మన ఎగ్జిబిషన్స్ లో వాటిలో చూస్తూ ఉంటాం. Is the board is blurred to you? Is the board is blurred to you? Is it clear or not? Board is clear to you or not? You respond. Okay, it is okay. It is visible. It is visible. It is not blurred. It is visible only. Okay, Ganesh Kumar, you adjust your system. Okay, here suppose this is the ring. It is the ring having certain radius. This ring is submerged in the liquid soap solution and removed out. Then a soap film is formed in the circular ring. Now the air is blown into the ring. It is not the pipe. You take ring. Air is blown. That air is blown into the ring with the soap film with a velocity v. Then you know at what radius of the soap bubble when formed, the soap bubble leaves detaches the ring. Radius of bubble, soap bubble, when it detaches the ring. It is the ring. Detaches the ring. R is equal to question mark. The radius of the ring at which the soap bubble detaches the ring. You see, whenever the air is blown into them, the air enter into the bubble here. Actually, initially a bubble is small in size. So whenever the air is blown into the ring, then that air pushes the soap film in this direction so that bubble is producing. As long as the air is blown into the bubble, then the size of the bubble gradually increases because that air when blown into the ring or blown into the bubble with a speed v, that air particles makes collision with the inner walls of the bubble and they comes to rest in this direction. That's why some force is exerted by the air blown into the bubble on the surface of the bubble. That's why the size of the bubble gradually increases and pressure inside the bubble also gradually increases. Okay, now at certain instant, whenever the force exerted by this air enter into the bubble on the bubble, the force exerted by air enter into the bubble balances the excess of force due to excess of pressure exerted on the air. At that time, the air will not enter into the bubble. At that time, the bubble leaves the detaches the ring. Okay, so force exerted by air on bubble is equal to force due to excess of pressure. Force due to excess of pressure. Force exerted by air on the bubble means rho a v square, no? Force exerted by force exerted by air on the bubble is equal to, suppose the area of cross section of this ring is say A. Area of cross section of the ring. Okay. A. Area of cross section of ring is capital A. Then force exerted by air enter into the ring, enter through the ring into the bubble with a velocity v is rho into A into v square. Where rho is the density of the air. Density of the air is rho a into area of cross section of the ring into v square. It is the force exerted by air enter into the ring on the bubble, which is equal to force due to excess of pressure. Inside the bubble, what is the extra pressure? Inside the bubble, here this outer surface is open to atmosphere. That's why extra pressure inside the bubble is equal to PE into what is the force exerted by that extra pressure on the ring while the air is blowing. ఎయిర్ బ్లో చేసినప్పుడు దీంట్లో ఎక్స్ట్రా ప్రెజర్ వలన దీంట్లో నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చే ఎయిర్ మీద ఇటువైపు ఫోర్స్ ఎగ్జర్ట్ చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఏ ఏరియా ఆఫ్ క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ది రింగ్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఏ ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ దిస్ ఏ cancel then rho a into v square is equal to extra pressure means 40 by capital R, no 40 by radius of the bubble is capital R. Radius of the bubble is capital R. Therefore capital R is equal to how much? Therefore capital R radius of the bubble is equal to 4p by density of the air into velocity square. This is the formula. This is also very, very important. Here rho a, density of air. అంతేగా రో అనగా ఇమీడియట్ గా డెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ది సోప్ సెలెక్షన్ అనకూడదు. డెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ది ఎయిర్ హియర్. డెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎయిర్. This is also important concept. This is also important application. Okay. One. Suppose a liquid drop of density. Here, this is the surface of the. It is the surface of the liquid. Density of the liquid. Density of liquid is equal to sigma. On the surface of liquid, a liquid drop is floating, like oil drop or whatever it may be. It is floating. So that half of the volume of the liquid drop is floating over the surface of the liquid. Or you take oil drop, whatever it may be. Suppose it is the oil drop. Okay, here this oil drop is floating over the surface of the liquid so that half of the volume of the oil drop is submerged in the liquid. Half of the volume of the oil drop is submerged in the liquid. It is in our material also. This problem is in our material also. Half of the volume of the oil drop is submerged in the liquid. Density of the oil is say density of the oil. density of oil is equal to rho naught. Density of the liquid already rho. It's sigma, sorry. Density of liquid is equal to sigma. Okay. Whenever it is floating, then what about the question is, whenever it is floating, what is the radius of the drop? Suppose the radius of the drop is smaller. Radius of this drop is smaller. Radius of drop smaller is equal to question mark. But the radius of the drop is not given. So what is the radius of the drop? They ask. Okay. Here, as it is the oil drop and it is the water liquid, as it is floating means definitely angle of contact is greater than 90. Whenever the angle of contact is greater than 90, then the surface of the liquid in contact with the oil drop is definitely convex in shape, like this. Convex in shape like this. The surface of the liquid in contact with the oil drop is like this. Not only if the oil drop, any body, spherical shaped body, it is like this. Okay. So here it is floating like this. At the point of contact, whenever the body floating over the surface of liquid, then the surface of the liquid is like this, convex. So at the point of contact, oil drop, in between oil drop and suppose this is a water. Liquid means this is a water. Angle of contact is greater than 90. That's why the surface of the liquid in contact with the oil drop is having convex shape. Here also convex shape. Then the tangent drawn at this point to the surface of the liquid gives the direction of the surface tension. Of course, here also. P. That is the direction of the surface tension acts on the liquid drop. But here it is given that half of the drop is submerged in the liquid. That is given. That is important. Half of the volume of the drop is submerged in the liquid. That is important point here. Half of the volume of the drop is submerged in the liquid. అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఇక్కడ కాంటాక్ట్ లో ఉంటుంది లిక్విడ్ యొక్క సర్ఫేస్. ఇక్కడ కాంటాక్ట్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు నీకు ఆ పాయింట్ ఇట్లా వస్తుంది. ఇది లిక్విడ్ యొక్క సర్ఫేస్. ఓకే. ఇక్కడ half of the volume of the oil drop submerged in the liquid ఉన్నప్పుడు whenever you draw a tangent at this point of contact to the liquid surface, that tangent is along vertical direction. ఇక్కడ కూడా ఎందుకంటే half of the volume of the body oil drop submerged in the liquid అన్నారు కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ కూడా tangent డ్రా చేస్తే ఆ tangent vertical direction ఉంటుంది. That is the direction of the surface tension. Okay. Now, whenever the oil drop is floating, the force due to surface tension acts on the oil drop upwards, and bind force also acts on the oil drop upwards because half of the volume of the body submerged in the oil liquid that is given. Bind force acts, and weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. As it is under equilibrium, so under equilibrium, sum of the forces acts on the oil drop upwards is equal to sum of the forces acts in downwards direction is only weight. Now we substitute the data. Okay. What is the force due to surface tension? Tell me. Radius of the drop is smaller. And what is the force due to surface tension acts on the oil drop upwards? Tell me. Force due to surface tension acts on the oil drop upwards is what? P into 2 pi. Very good. Because exactly half of the drop is submerged in the liquid means exactly the liquid surface, free liquid surface in contact with the oil drop is circular shape only, but it is in diametrical plane. That's why total length of the free liquid surface in contact with the oil drop is equal to this only. That is equal to 2 pi small r. That's why P into 2 pi small r plus bind force. Bind force means as the half of the volume of the oil drop is submerged in the liquid, then volume of the liquid displaced by the oil drop is V by 2 into density of the liquid displaced sigma gives mass of the liquid displaced into G, weight of the liquid displaced. by the oil drop. Okay, which is equal to weight of the oil drop. Weight of the oil drop means oil drop is in spherical in shape. That's why 4/3 pi r cube is the volume of the oil drop into density of the oil. Density of the oil is rho naught. Density of the oil is rho naught. Okay, gives mass into z. Gz cancel. Okay, therefore P into 2 pi small r plus volume of the drop 4/3 pi small r cube by 2 is there by 2 into sigma is equal to 4/3 pi r cube into rho naught. So therefore 2 pi small r into t is equal to, you bring to right and you take 4/3 pi r cube common. Then you take 4 by 3 pi r cube common after it is brought to right side. Then remaining is rho naught is here minus here sigma by 3, sigma by 6 is there, no? No, sorry, sigma by 2 is there. Sigma by 2 because 4/3 is taken common. So sigma by 2 is there. Okay, therefore here pi by 2 pi 2s are okay. So t is equal to 1 r will be cancelled, then 2 r square by 3 into LCM 2 rho naught minus sigma whole by 2. 2 cancel. They asked, I think, smaller, no? Smaller they asked. So small r is equal to 3t by, sorry, 3, okay. Small r square is equal to 3t by 2 rho naught minus sigma. It is r square value. R is equal to under root. So this is the radius of the oil drop. That is the radius of the oil drop. I think it is in our material. You see the formula, is it correct or not? Radius of the oil drop is equal to this one. Is it correct or not? You see in our material. It is in our material also. It is in our material also. I think in practice sheet or additional practice sheet. G won't cancel. Yeah, D will not be cancelled. Okay, G is also there. Sorry, D is also there. D will not be cancelled. Here we can write G now. Here we can write G. Okay. Yeah, that's why I got doubt. That's why I'm asking. I think you see that is there in our material. It is there in our material. You see the, is it that is the formula or not? Yeah. I think somewhere calculation mistake is there. You see, somewhere calculation mistake is there. Where it is. Okay, correct only because they asked the diameter. They asked the diameter. Here we got the radius of the top. Okay, this is correct. So this is the answer. Okay. Shall I erase now? Okay, now Bashwant, is it okay? Puneet Kumar. Puneet Kumar, now is it okay or not? Puneet Kumar. Okay. Okay, next 15th, I think. There is a circular ring. A thin circular ring is there. There is a thin circular ring having some mass. There is a thin circular ring having certain mass. It is connected to one end of the beam balance. And a simple balance only. A simple balance one end కి connect చేసాం. Simple balance one end of the beam balance, it is connected. Suppose if the mass of the ring is m, then weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. Weight mg acts vertically downwards direction, and here in the other pan weight is kept. In the other pan weight is kept. In the other pan weight is kept. Now it is balanced. For this load, here whatever the mass of what is the mass of the ring is say m, the mass of the load attached is also m. So that's why here this ring is balanced by this load attached. Now the balance here it is balanced. When it is balanced, the mass of the load kept here and mass of the ring both are same. Okay, now the ring is made to just come in contact with the surface of the liquid. The surface of the ring is, the beam balance is kept like this only, and the surface of the ring is made to contact just gently with the surface of the liquid in one beaker. Then what happens? The ring surface ni just liquid surface to contact lo undettuga arrange chesam. Then what happens? Okay, Vishnu. Then what happens here? Is the ring comes down or rises up, or there is no change in the position of the ring? Whenever the ring is made in contact with the surface of the liquid, then is the ring comes down or rises up? Or no change in the position of the ring? Is it remains under equilibrium only? Force due to surface tension acts on the ring downwards. Force due to surface tension acts on the ring downwards, so that the ring comes down. Now it becomes out of balance. Whenever the ring comes down, an extra weight, extra load kept in the pan is say delta m. An extra load delta m is kept in the pan. Now it is balanced. Delta m is extra load to balance the ring again. Even the ring is in contact with surface of liquid. In that case, the force here, whenever the ring is put in contact with the surface of liquid, the force due to surface tension acts on the ring in the downwards direction. Suppose the radius of the ring is smaller. Then force due to surface tension acts on the ring downwards. Suppose here angle of contact is say theta is equal to 0 degree. Then force due to surface tension acts on the ring downwards. Due to that, the ring comes down. In order to balance this one, again the extra load delta m is kept in the pan so that it is balanced again. That means the extra load, because of this extra load, the weight delta mg acts downwards direction. So net force in downwards direction is equal to delta m into c. Because weight mg here and weight mg both are cancelled. Both are same, they are cancelled. But force due to surface tension acts on the ring downwards, and extra weight due to extra load acts in downwards direction. As these two are balanced, then again it is maintaining the equilibrium condition. That's why force due to surface tension is equal to extra load into g. That is the extra weight kept in the pan. What is the force due to surface tension? If the angle of contact is 0 degree, then force due to surface tension acts on the ring. Please tell me, what is the force due to surface tension? Force due to surface tension acts on the ring is how much? G should be in the denominator. Okay then. G is in denominator. Right. Right now, this is correct now. Because r square is equal to 3t by 2 rho naught minus sigma into z. Okay. R is equal to something. Right here, what is the force due to surface tension? Actually, that ring is having inner circumference and outer circumference. Thickness of ring is not mentioned. That's why inner radius and outer radius almost all same. That's why inner circumference is 2 pi r plus outer circumference also 2 pi r. On the inner circumference, due to surface tension, force is equal to T into 2 pi r. As the two surfaces are there, outer surface is also there. That's why into 2. That is the force due to surface tension is equal to delta m into z. Therefore, extra load needed to balance the ring delta m is equal to 4 pi small r t by z. This is the extra load needed to balance the ring. Extra load needed to balance the ring. Okay. Okay, these are the different points. One more point is also there. Okay. Here, 16th one. In a cylindrical vessel, some air is there. Here, one bubble is produced in the cylinder. One bubble is produced in the cylinder. One bubble is produced in the cylinder. Okay. Now, initially, whenever atmospheric pressure acts on the bubble, whenever atmospheric pressure acts on the bubble, then the radius of the bubble is R1. The radius of the bubble is R1. Okay. First of all, let's see. Initially, there is a air at atmospheric pressure. At that time, it is closed with the piston. Initially, there is a atmospheric pressure P1 is equal to P0 acts on the surface of the bubble. It is the bubble. Now the radius of the bubble is equal to R1. Surface tension of the soap solution of the bubble is equal to capital T. Okay, now the piston is pressed so that the size of the bubble decreases to small r2. When piston is pushed down so that the radius of bubble becomes small r2, comma, then pressure inside the bubble is dash. Pressure inside the bubble. Pressure inside the bubble is dash. Okay. Initially, here you see, here whenever the pressure increases here, whenever the pressure increases, then that pressure pushes the bubble close to each other so that the bubble is compressed, but air inside the bubble, the mass of the air inside the bubble does not alter. So this gas under isothermal condition only, even the bubble is compressed, the temperature does not change. That's why isothermal condition. Isothermal condition. In isothermal condition, for air inside the bubble, as the temperature is constant according to Boyle's law. According to Boyle's law. Okay. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay, therefore, Initially, whenever the bubble is having radius r1, what is the total pressure inside it? Extra pressure inside the bubble is total pressure inside the bubble. What is the total pressure inside the bubble? Total pressure inside the bubble initially. Initially, it is at atmospheric pressure. Initially, outside pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure. Therefore, total pressure inside the bubble P1 is equal to total pressure inside the bubble at initial P1 is equal to P0 plus 4T by R1. No? It is the initial pressure inside the bubble. Initial pressure inside the bubble P1 is equal to P0 plus 4T by R1. And initial volume V1 is equal to, as the radius is R1, 4/3 pi R1 cube. It is the initial pressure and initial volume. Okay, whenever the bubble is compressed, to radius R2, when bubble is compressed, so that the radius becomes R2. When bubble is compressed, okay, volume of the bubble means volume of the air inside the bubble. Initially, whenever the radius of the bubble is R1, volume of the air inside the bubble is equal to this one, and the pressure is this one. Whenever the bubble is compressed by pushing the piston downwards or whatever it may be, somehow, then volume of the bubble becomes, as the radius of the bubble is R2, volume of the air inside the bubble in second case becomes 4/3 pi R2 cube. Now, what is the pressure inside the bubble? Pressure inside bubble P2 is equal to question mark. P2 is equal to question mark. Okay, from ideal gas, Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. No, P1 means P0 plus 4T by R1 into V1 4/3 by R1 cube is equal to P2. We have to find. P2 is the total pressure inside the bubble into volume 4/3 by R2 cube. Therefore, P2 is equal to 4/3 cancel. Then P0 plus 4T by R1 into R1 cube whole by R2 cube. This is the pressure inside the bubble. That is the pressure inside the bubble. Okay. Right. This is the answer. Shall I arrange this one? Okay. Okay. Next. Next, 17th one. The radii of the soap bubbles are R1 and R2 respectively. The ratio of masses of the air in them will be P0 is the atmospheric pressure. The radius of the soap bubbles, here it is R1. Radius of another soap bubble is R2. Here these two are produced in the atmosphere. So atmosphere pressure acts over them. Okay, these are surface tension of the soap bubble is T. Of course, it is also soap bubble T only, surface tension. What about the ratio between the masses of the air inside the soap bubbles? M1 by M2 is equal to question mark. That is the case. M1 by M2 is equal to question mark. Okay. Temperature is same. Temperature is same for both bubbles. Temperature is same for both bubbles. Okay. Here, if the M is the mass of the air inside the bubble at any temperature capital T, say, or theta, say, then you see for any gas inside the bubble, PV is equal to nRT. We can write N means number of moles of the gas into R into T. Okay. The P into volume of the air inside the bubble means 4/3 pi R cube. Okay. Here P means what is the pressure? What is the pressure inside the bubble? I mean, what is the pressure inside the bubble? Pressure inside the bubble means atmospheric pressure P0 plus excess of pressure 4T by radius of the bubble R. Okay. Into volume 4/3 pi R cube is equal to N means mass of the gas, mass of the air by molecular weight. Number of moles of the gas is equal to mass by molecular weight, no, into capital R into T. Here T is that are not surface tension. Here T is the, you say this is theta because surface tension is there, no, it is ST. So this is theta, say theta is the temperature. Both the soap bubbles are at the same temperature, so that the temperature of the air in both the bubbles remains same. So this is constant. R is constant. M is constant. So these three are constant. 4 by 3 by constant. Okay, therefore, mass of the air inside the bubble is directly proportional to. Of course, here it is the universal gas constant and it is the radius of the bubble. You take small r. You take small r because we may cancel by mistake r and r. It is a small r. It is also small r. Okay. Now, mass is directly proportional to R cube into P0 plus 4T by small r. Okay. Therefore, ratio between the mass of the air inside the bubbles M1 by M2 is equal to small r1 by small r2 whole cube into, in case of first bubble, P0 plus 4T by R1. In case of second bubble, P0 plus 4T by R2. This is the ratio between the mass of the air inside the two bubbles. So that is also important point. One more point is there somewhere else out. Okay, 10 minutes more, no problem. One more point is there. Next, 18th one. Two soap bubbles having different radii. Two soap bubbles having different radii are combined together to form the big bubble under isothermal condition. Isothermal condition. Two soap bubbles combine together to form a bigger bubble under isothermal condition. Okay, there is no loss of energy. No loss of energy. When no loss of energy, surface energy is not lost. So total surface energy of this here, this bubble is same as the total surface energy of this bubble. It is the bubble. Bubbles, both are bubbles. Okay, total surface energy remains constant. Total energy remains constant under isothermal condition only, not in all conditions. Isothermal total energy remains constant. In isothermal condition, energy of this one means area, surface area is 4 pi r1 square into surface tension plus energy of this 4 pi r2 square into T is equal to energy of this 4 pi r square into T. In all, therefore R is equal to square root of r1 square plus r2 square. Already in this case, whenever the two bubbles are put in contact, the radius of interface already we derived. R1 R2 by R1 minus R2 we got. That is the radius of the interface. Okay. Next, in case of interface, suppose two bubbles are put in contact like this. The common surface is like this. From the smaller bubble, when you see the common surface or interface, it is compressed. That's why concave is toward the smaller bubble. The concave surface, it means convex. Concave surface is towards the smaller bubble and convex surface is towards the larger bubble. And in which bubble the pressure is more, in that direction the surface, common surface is depressed. That's why concave surface is towards the smaller bubble in such case. Okay, this is one more. Next. Next, suppose there are two bubbles. There are two bubbles, one inside the other. There are two bubbles, one inside the other. Here, the radius of this bubble is. The radius of this bubble is R1. Radius of this bubble is say R2. Okay, these are the two bubbles. Here, outside this larger bubble, of course, atmospheric pressure acts. Inside the smaller bubble, suppose pressure is say P1. Inside the larger bubble, the pressure is say P2. Okay. What is pressure P1? Tell me. What is the pressure P1? Total pressure inside the smaller bubble is what? Total pressure inside the smaller bubble is what? Last 6 minutes. Karthik. What is the total pressure inside the smaller bubble? We know already extra pressure inside the bubble is equal to 4P by R now. So from that formula, what is the total pressure inside the smaller bubble? P naught plus 40 by R. P naught means that is the pressure acts on the bubble outside from outside. The smaller bubble మీద outside నుంచి పనిచేసే pressure అంటే P2. That is the pressure inside the larger bubble. Am I right? ఇక్కడ స్మాలర్ బబుల్, ఇక్కడ ప్రెజర్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద బబుల్ అంటే P naught plus 40 by R రాస్తున్నాం. P naught అంటే సింగిల్ బబుల్ తీసినప్పుడు బబుల్ ఇస్ ఎక్స్పోజ్డ్ టు అట్మాస్ఫియర్, కాబట్టి అట్మాస్ఫియర్ అవుట్ సైడ్ నుంచి పనిచేస్తుంది. కాబట్టి P naught plus 40 by R రాసాం. ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ స్మాలర్ బబుల్, P2 is the pressure from outside acts on the bubble. కాబట్టి P1 is equal to P2 plus 40 by R1. That is the total pressure inside the smaller bubble. Total pressure inside the larger bubble, P2 is equal to larger bubble మీద బయట నుంచి ప్రెజర్ P naught పనిచేస్తాం కాబట్టి P naught plus 40 by R2. 40 by R2. Okay, now what is the radius of the bubble? What is the radius of the bubble in which the excess of pressure is equal to difference in pressure inside the smaller bubble and outside the larger bubble. What is the radius of the single bubble in which the excess of pressure is equal to pressure inside the smaller bubble and outside the larger bubble? ఇంత ప్రెజర్ ని ఎక్సెస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రెజర్ గా ఉంటే బబుల్ యొక్క రేడియస్ కావాలి. ఓకే, సో ద క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్ radius of the bubble which is having excess of pressure equal to the difference of excess of pressure equal to the difference between pressure inside smaller bubble and outside the larger bubble. is small r, that is equal to question mark. That is equal to question mark. Or comma, small r is equal to question mark. And here excess of pressure in case of a single bubble having radius r must be equal to the difference between the pressure inside the smaller bubble means P1, pressure inside the smaller bubble. Difference between the pressure inside the smaller bubble P1 minus pressure outside the larger bubble means P0. In the excess of pressure in the radius of the bubble, that is equal to excess of pressure PE, which is equal to 4T by smaller. 4T by smaller. What about P1? P1 is equal to, you see, P1 is equal to this one. Okay, this is equation 1. Okay, now from this formula, P1 minus P2 is equal to, we can write 4T by R1. From this, P2 minus P0, sorry, P1 minus, okay, from this, P2 minus P0 is equal to 4T by R2. We need P1 minus P0. P2 should not be there. You add them. You add the two equations. Then P1 minus P0 is equal to 4T by R1 plus 4T by R2. Okay, this is equation 2. Now, you substitute P1 minus P0 is equal to this one. Therefore, from 1, P1 minus P0 means this one. 4T by R1 plus 4T by R2 is equal to 4T by R. 4T you cancel. Then 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. R small r is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So the radius of the single bubble, which is having the excess of pressure equal to pressure difference between the, which is equal to difference between the pressure inside the smaller bubble and outside the larger bubble. P1 minus P0 ni excess of pressure ga unna bubble yokka radius r enta annadu. Ante this is the way to do. Okay, right anna this. So these are the some important, of course I said the problems also in the form of the concepts. I said the problems also in the form of concepts only. So when you know the concepts, we can do the problems anyway. Okay, today if possible we will do extra problems, otherwise we have to do the remaining problems in our material. Okay, if any few problems, extra problems are there, I will keep solutions in our group, so you go through them. Okay, right, and have a nice day. I'm signing out. Bye all of you.